Greetings and welcome to Agranak Studios. Today we've got a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be sitting down with my brother-in-law, who happens to be my best friend, and we're going to talk some D&D, specifically about his game room, but we talk about some other things as well, so I hope you enjoy.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an upload, and join the conversation over at the Agranak Cult Discord.
Something that I've been reminded of, two things. Back in the day, you had a D&D Club. That was back in the RV park days, right?
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about that. What was that about?
No, that was the clubhouse, which basically was an abandoned building in the park that at once used to be some kind of store, just for stuff. You go swimming and go across the street. This used to be the store right there, but the park abandoned it and just kind of let it go to hell. And I asked the manager one time, I'm like, hey, there's this game we play. Pretty honest, we're a bunch of good kids, we don't cause any trouble. Can we use this building? And I expected a no for sure, and he said sure. I was like, what? You're gonna let us use this building? Great.
Yeah.
And it had this old look. It had some old pillars out front, with beams and stuff. It was kind of had this old look, and it had a bunch of junk in there. So me and the group of guys that I used to play with, and Joe included, my brother Joe, we cleaned it out, got it totally fixed up, put posters all over the walls, set up a makeshift plywood table. There were some cabinets in there too that we kept in there, but for the most part, yeah, we fixed it up to a little D&D room, and really my dream was to hook it up like this, but I've always had this vision of having that kind of an ambience, and that room was perfect.
Yeah.
As kids, really.
Now, there was a bunch of people. Like, I remember that picture. I wish we could find it.
And and this was late in my D&D career, much later.
Yeah.
Obviously, because the roots were much longer before that, and many groups before that, but I think the D&D party usually consisted of about 8 players, at least.
And that was first edition, first and second.
We played Advanced D&D at that time. This is second edition. Yeah. Okay. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons with the demon on front with the sword.
Oh yeah.
That player's
first
handbook.
Edition. Yeah.
It's been fun, but the atmosphere thing is something that I've always been chasing.
Yeah.
I want it to be epic for everyone, because adventure to me is just not worthy unless it's epic.
Yeah. Well, it's like even in that room, that second room there, you had your stereo, and you were, talking about, you'd put together your tape or whatever with the different, soundtrack
right.
things.
Yeah,
and
I forgot all about that.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Wow.
And then you were the first one that got me interested in like the Carmicos, and then they had the CD,
right.
the audio adventures.
That at that time.
Yeah,
that's the adventures we played in there.
They had the audio adventures.
Yeah, the CDs. That's
right.
Yeah. Oh, I was so stoked when those came out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was
so
amazing. Good. Here's a Hail the Heroes adventure, and you've got sound effects now that go with the adventure.
Yeah.
How great was that?
It was
those
awesome.
times. That was what, the 90s.
Yeah, 94.
Yep.
95, right around there.
Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that. What a great time that was.
You and I, and we don't have to get into the reasons why, but there was a period of time that both you and I did not play the game. It was a period of years.
Oh, yeah.
And when we came back, I think I may have gotten back into it sooner than you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you started, and then you were like, what is it with the imagination? Why is it so hard for me to imagine?
Yeah.
And so it was like, as a youth, as a kid, even a teenager, and into your 20s, like your imagination, it's a muscle or whatever, and you've developed it, and then taking that time off and then coming back, it was hard for you.
It was very hard.
And I know that it was hard for me. How long did it take after coming back to the hobby for you to actually, maybe get close to what you used to experience?
Great question, because it's been more recent than you'd think. Back in those days when we gave it that break, you're right, it's like a muscle. And if you don't exercise it, it kind of just doesn't go away, but you got to build it back up. I think so. All the times I played with you at your house, at the lake there, all those times it was so hard for me to get that campaign going, so it would last 1 or 2 sessions and then it would...
Yeah.
So I'm going to say when we started this room.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was 2 years ago or something.
And so, well, maybe because you had the room, it became the catalyst because there was the environment.
You're right, I did. And I was going to say that because when I created the environment for it is when it started coming back.
Yeah.
And now it's not like it was before when you had pencil and paper. I use all kinds of technology to make my preparations go fast and easy and fun. And it's because of our lives. You know, we have jobs. We can't just get together anytime we want anymore.
Right.
So
right.
And then I'm sure you'd have that challenge as
yeah,
well.
for sure.
But sometimes we don't play for months because of it. You know, I have a teacher on staff. I have, you know, a guy who sets up stages everywhere in Southern California. He's constantly doing fairs and stuff on the weekends. Brian, he's available now, but Brendan's available anytime. But I don't like getting together unless I have everybody.
Yeah.
So,
which can be difficult, especially as adults. And
yeah. So in saying that, I use all kinds of technologies to make my games great. I don't have to use this as much.
Yeah.
I can use this more. And
that's
so,
very well said.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely in my heart to just, it's hard to explain, really. Yeah. It's just something I really enjoy, and it's my love of thing to do more than most things in life. There's just a connection there. I don't know. Stuck with me all these years, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So,
awesome. Well, I think that's a perfect segue into, let's talk about the room itself.
Sure.
So can you describe the ambience you aim to create in your game room?
Well, I think I love how when you're watching a great movie and you hear the music that they put in it, and it's creating this scene, and you're just into it because you're watching them, and listening and doing all the things, or experiencing all the things that are in the movie as you're watching. And that's kind of how I like to try to make our games go, like you're in a movie.
Yeah.
Like this is projected. This is what we're in and experiencing right now. So the more I can make it feel like that, the more I think the guys will get into it and actually start portraying their voices, their characters, and being that character. Not Brian Sorendar, not Dan Radrist, you know. And we're still trying to get Brendan to get there, but he really is. It's crazy. It's working. You know, he's the most closed off kind of introverted person you've ever met until he gets to know you. And then now this last session, his character was actually speaking up and doing this and that, and everyone's like, whoa, Brendan, did you actually say something? You know?
That's good.
So if I can make my room a place that shuts off the world, that you can walk into through a portal and you're there, that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I think I'm getting done, and at least for me. And I know that those guys, Dan will be the first one to tell you, he's actually a guy who I first started with back in 6th grade, who's now playing with me again. It's great, but he says this is just, I've never experienced a place to play D&D like this before. Usually it's at a game store where there's just a table and chairs.
But that's the horrible thing. I think it is a tragedy, personally, that you go to a game shop and they've got white tables, white walls, fluorescent lights. I'm just like, you're missing half the game.
You really, really are, because unless you've got this imagination that can shut you off that much, which I doubt, but once someone tries this, they won't want to do that again. I promise.
It's true. It's so true.
And the way you run it too, just make it like a tavern, man. Were there lights like that back in the day? No. There were
turn
torches.
The lights off,
there was candles.
You do candle lights, and
you gotta be there.
Yeah.
You know, you really gotta be there. I don't really use those that much, but ice spell, force missile. For big time. Here's Katie. All of my stores that are possible to come across in Waterdeep, all the prices for everything, shop names. Here's the little storyline we went by with me and Brent, with me and Matt. I mean, it's just amazing. You want to roll dice? No problem. I would say start with yourself. How do you want to feel when you play? Do you want to be in a movie? Is that how you want it? Make it like that then. And I didn't follow any kind of plan or footprint. I didn't really even do a lot of research on it. I just thought if I could lower the light, if I could make things quiet and dark a little bit, and set the stage for how I felt I'd like to see a movie, then I would say follow that. Definitely get a good playing surface, a good solid table playing surface. I mean, be you, really, is what I would say. If you like playing on cushions on the floor, and then play that way, and that's how your players like it. But I think making it comfortable for your players and yourself is really important. Make it your space, make it a man cave or a woman cave or a she shed or however you want to look at it. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely make it comfortable. Make it as much of how it is in your game as possible. So people can not only try to imagine that, but they can see it. Yeah. That's what I think.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Anytime. I don't see you enough.
I know, right?
I hate life sometimes.
Takes us away in too many directions.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you'd like to view the extended version of this interview, then head on over to Patreon. Those that are part of the Red Hand tier or above are able to view that. Thanks for stopping by Agranak Studios today, and we'll see you on the next one. Later. This video was brought to you by the generous support of our patrons. Consider becoming a patron so you can help us make more content like this. Or get yourself a t-shirt below. Later.
All right, do this and do that and do this and do that. And watch this video.